All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashum, Yahushai, Bahashum, Rakakwadash. I want to give the honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayer from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. The title of this lesson is You Can't Escape Tomorrow. And this is a statement that was made by the elder Arwan from Birmingham, a while back, when he came down to Orlando, I think it was last year, and as he was talking to brothers, he made a statement that was powerful. He said, you can't escape tomorrow, regarding to, in regards to prophecy, because the essence of prophecy is tomorrow. Prophecy is the essence of tomorrow, you know, meaning it's going to come to pass. Whether you live through it or whether you don't, all right, prophecy is going to be fulfilled. The word of the Lord is going to be fulfilled, you know. And the inspiration for this lesson comes from a conversation I was overhearing today, while I was sitting amongst some jakes, as I was running some errands. Um, I was sitting amongst some jakes, and one of the jakes mentioned how, AI is taking over. He just came into the shop and was like, "Hey, man, this AI is taking over. This AI is taking over." And he was getting into different articles, and it was it was beautiful because he was getting into a lot of the same articles that brothers bring out, during their lessons. And he was bringing out some articles, and this is a guy in the world. He's bringing out some different articles regarding the onset of AI, the digitalization of America's assets and so on and so forth. And he made a statement. He said, if your kids are going to school, make sure they're going to school for something that's AI proof. And it sparked the inspiration for this lesson because there's no such thing as AI proof. All right, AI is a part of prophecy. All right, the Lord has set up AI, all right, artificial idumia, all right, to bring to pass, all right, prophecy. There is no escaping, all right, the plan that the Lord has set for this world. I want to get this in Isaiah chapter 55. Verse 11. It says, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it." Okay, and all the words of the Lord are going to be accomplished. All the words of tomorrow essentially are going to be accomplished. Famine, persecution, the famine of the word, both the famine both of bread and of the word. Persecution, wars, rumors of wars, World War III, the mark of the beast. Okay, Jacob's trouble. All of these things that were foretold and forewarned to happen are going to come to pass, whether you try to circumvent it or not. You can't circumvent prophecy. And this is something that everybody's starting to come into the realization of. Everybody's starting to come into the realization, that prophecy really is something that you can't escape. For years, men have been trying to figure out ways to circumvent the word of the Lord, ways to change the word of the Lord. We see it with these different enemies that come up against the truth. Vocab Malone, all right, even some Israelites, one body in Satan. All right, these guys from Genesis saying that the heathen can be saved. You have different people who have been set up for years who have been trying their best, trying their hardest, to thwart the word of the Lord, to thwart reality, to change and warp reality according to their own opinion and suspicion. But what we're starting to see through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is beautiful. We're starting to see the words of the Lord manifest. Right now, the boldness of the Lord's saints is manifesting. Let me get that. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, and verse 17. It says, For when men will not believe that thou art of full power, thou shewest thy strength. And among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest. And right now, the Lord is showing his strength in his word, his strength in his will. The Lord is showing his strength amongst these men who have tried their hardest, all right, to change the word of the Lord. But it's unchangeable. You can't escape this reality that's ever before us. Babylon will be driven, all right, into a digital age. All right, this society will be driven to the point, all right, of making a choice whether or not to receive Esau's mark or not, if you want to be a productive member of this society. These are things that are coming. These are things that are absolute. Thus saith the Lord. And another thing that's absolute, thus saith the Lord, is the salvation and the mercy that is coming to those who continue to put their trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Victory over the beast, over this system, over his image, is prophesied to happen as well. That's another absolute. All right, that's another tomorrow that can't be escaped. The salvation of the elect. But as regarding these people, are a distant, not a distant, a near reality for these people, is the downfall of Babylon the Great, the onset of digital ID, the onset of the RFID microchip, the onset of CBDCs, the onset of universal basic incomes. This is a near reality for these people. And it's something that they're starting to realize they can't escape, which is something I caught for that conversation. He was trying to find a way to escape it, but really as they were going back and forth, they both came to the realization that it's going to happen regardless. These things are going to take place regardless. It's just a matter of how you in your mind think you're going to maneuver around these things, in which these people of this world have no wisdom on how to maneuver in these days anyway. These people don't know what to do regarding Esau and his tactics. They don't know what to do regarding where the society is headed. They don't have any answers. They don't have any comfort regarding the times that we're living in presently and the times that we're entering into. These people don't have it. I was sitting there listening to their reasoning, and it ultimately didn't align with the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Their reasoning was to create some sort of situation in some, world for themselves where they're outside of this system and they're operating on their normal means, and it's not going to happen that way. Everyone will be driven into a state of trouble. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith Jeremiah the 30th chapter. All right, in the 7th verse, Jacob's trouble will take place on the planet Earth. And pursuing to Daniel the 12th chapter, there's going to be a time like never before since there was a nation. And that trouble is going to overtake not only Jacob, but the world itself, because Esau doesn't know who's who. He's going to take down as many as he can. It's going to encompass the whole world. And as it encompasses the whole world, the only ones who are going to understand and know how to maneuver and what to do and what is happening and who is going to offer up the salvation is us of the hopefully elect, Lord willing, we of the elect. Because the scripture says in Isaiah the 33rd chapter, and the 6th verse, he says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. And we're understanding now, through our different, experiences and trials, that the fear of the Lord is a treasure. The fear of the Lord keeps us on the straight and narrow. The fear of the Lord is a great motivator, all right, to do that which is right. We have a healthy fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Therefore, we keep ourselves aligned with his will. And we also come to the understanding that wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our times. A prime example of that is what happened to brothers in 2020. While certain brothers lost their jobs, lost certain situations that they were in, our wisdom and knowledge allowed them to remain stable. The understanding that there's a standard coming, just wait on it. You know, the understanding of Sirach or Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter, you know, where it says, make not haste in the time of trouble. That understanding kept brothers stable. All right, the understanding that this world is where this world is headed kept brothers stable. Who was bringing the calamity? That understanding kept brothers stable in that time. And these times that we're entering into are going to be no different. The understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to be precious. That's why it says in Isaiah that a man of the Lord shall be as the fine gold of Ophir. Precious. It's not what's going to make that man of the Lord so precious isn't his physicality, you know, isn't his looks, you know, isn't how strong he is, you know, it's the faith that he possesses. That's what's going to make a man of the Lord so precious to these people in the world. The faith that they contain, Lord willing, we're that number. And we're learning to cultivate that faith. We're learning to expand on that faith right now, while others are learning to expand on their faith in Esau, in this system, which is ultimately going to lead to their downfall. And one thing that's for sure, you cannot escape tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to come. Tomorrow is Jacob's trouble. Tomorrow is the mark of the beast. Tomorrow is World War III. Not literally, of course. You know, we don't know the hour or the time specifically. All right, I'm just speaking about the essence of tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow is the famine of the word. Tomorrow may be the last time we go to work before Esau makes his mandates. It can't be stopped. Because it is the will of the Lord, as we read in Isaiah, the 55th chapter. All right, the words of the Lord are going to come to pass and accomplish that which he pleases. And with that being said, the Lord has given us this word and given us the faith so that we understand his will. We understand tomorrow, seeing that we can't change it. The Lord has given us the ability to understand it and to prepare for it. The Lord has given us mercy to prepare for tomorrow. Utilize that mercy, man. You know, but with that being said, you know, that's all I really have for this lesson. Lord, want us to edify unto you elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashum Yahushai, Bahashum Kakudash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.